with after a certain amount of time, it won't work.
Right.
So it should be the same code. You should be able to come back on with the same.
The same link.
Yeah.
All right. I'll try that.
Okay, he's back. What up, Hurricane James? Right on, Hurricane James. Treka's coming right in.
All right.
Here we go.
Y'all reposting link on her Facebook?
Yeah, I'm gonna repost it in a minute once she gets on here.
Tell her ass to erase the old one.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna erase it.
I don't like the giggling that I saw in mute, but
all right, we good now. We back at it.
We'll run with that. Anywho, I mean, I apologize. I did lose focus. I don't know where we was at. We was talking about y'all working like a prison.
We'll run it back and start it from the beginning. You know what I mean?
You want to start it from the beginning?
I mean, I
got a whole different attitude now than I had 30 minutes ago. That's fucked up, ain't it? See how the universe be working sometimes? Yeah.
We'll just wait for
what
them
makes
to
you
repost.
young?
I got somebody that's already asking.
Let's get a full welcome back to everybody because I feel like we just hella off right now. Welcome back to the show. We had a little technical difficulties. I don't think anybody could see the first half that we were already doing, but if you did, welcome back. If you didn't, welcome. We got my man Hurricane James here. It looks like you got a good quality camera there. Is that your iPhone?
No, this is my little old ass Samsung tablet.
Okay, don't you talk bad about Samsung. We holding it strong. And we got DJ Ro.
I got the new S23 too. Shit.
Okay. Well, iPhone people be talking bad about us like we got damn red-headed stepchildren.
I ain't worried about them cult members.
Every time I meet somebody new, they like, you got an iPhone? I'll FaceTime you. I'm like, I don't got no fucking iPhone, bro. Like everybody in fucking America don't got an iPhone. And then they be like, well, why don't you got an iPhone? Because I don't need an iPhone. I can do what I need to do.
I got Instagram videos, Facebook.
I don't need iPhone.
Duo, Google.
I'm way too connected already. I'm about to cut some of this shit off while you bullshitting. So y'all lucky you can get me where you can get me. But Google me. Anyways. Both of you guys work in the prison. I kind of didn't even realize that until you said it a minute ago. But y'all work on different aspects of it.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, you do deal with inmates. And I think what I asked you right before we realized what was going on with our connection is how do y'all feel working in the system, knowing that the system is targeted for you?
Like I was saying earlier, it's kind of like, just kind of fell in the cracks. It wasn't like an idea. I was like, ooh, I want to grow up and be a correctional officer. It just kind of happened that way, working a bunch of odd-end jobs. And I was like, man, it's time to do something better than this.
Yeah.
And since I wasn't going to the military after 9/11 happened, I was like, it kind of became one of the next best things where I didn't need a college degree to get started. And it paid pretty well. So I got started when I was pretty young. But I mean, people always talk about, we grew up in areas where we, was fuck the police and we don't like the law. But a lot of that was because none of the law looked like us. And how we going to, feel comfortable in a situation where they don't talk like us, they don't look like us. You know what I mean? So I figured if, I got in, maybe I could help influence or change the mindsets of some cats just because I come from the same backgrounds as some of them and chose a better way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some of the OGs look up to that. They be like, hey man, youngster, I wish I would have did what you did. I easily could have been you, but Sometimes it's just one mistake that changes the difference between the people on the outside of the walls and on the inside of the wall.
Hey, it's all it takes is one big mistake for all of us. So
I always tell them, man, I'm not here to judge you. Sometimes I don't even look at their files because I don't want to know what they did, because I don't want to treat them differently. My job is to treat them all fair, to follow the rules that's set in place. And I tell them, man, I'm not the police that arrested you. I'm not the DA. I'm not the defense attorney. I'm not the jury.
judge.
You know what I mean? I'm not the executioner. I'm just here to make sure you follow the rules and everybody go home safe. That's it.
Yeah, I just feel like that is like a tough thing to have to, deal with on a constant basis. Roselle, let me hear your take on this. Like,
well, I'm more on the plan op side, so I don't have to deal with the inmates like I do, because we have like work crews, but it's not really like how he has to do it. So I mean, to me, it's just like almost working with like people on the outside a little bit. And I mean, they're just like, dealing with any other people. I mean, you just got to kind of watch out a little bit sometimes, just make sure they don't, try to do nothing crazy. They have a way of trying to get over a little bit sometimes, but once you get used to it and you understand how they work, the workers you have, it's usually not that bad. It hasn't been that bad for me.
Wait, so they be trying to get you involved in shit too?
They'll try to do stuff like they want me to give them a lot of gloves. They like getting gloves. They like getting work gloves, and people don't understand why they want work gloves.
They making shanks. Don't do it.
No. What they do with the work gloves is if they like get in a fight, or you're right, even if they do have to shank somebody with the gloves on, it keeps them from having marks on their hands. So that's what they want the gloves for, or they want them to work out. So sometimes when they're working out, the gloves are better for them.
Fuck that workout shit. They need protection during
but that's
fight.
usually what the gloves are
that's
for.
That's what I would want them for. I'm not saying I ever been to prison. Had I go, I'm gonna need work gloves sent to me. Everybody send me work gloves because I'm being there doing work, son. You know what I mean? You can't have no evidence. I mean, I don't need no cuts on my hands. I don't need them seeing my knuckles all bruised up with the work gloves on. What? I was gardening all day. I wasn't in no fucking riot. That's how I feel.
Then it
I'm making
depends
light
on
of the situation, but it's not a light situation. I know, like, regardless of what aspect of the prison you work in, you still have a very at-risk ass job.
Then it depends on the prison that you're in. I don't know what prison he's in, but my prison is a lighter prison. It's not really like a level 4 prison.
Oh.
So
mine's not necessarily level 4, but we have level 4 inmates. We carry.
we got them too.
We got every level. We got the PIP, the mental health inmates, the ones that want to kill themselves, and everybody in it. We got a little bit of everything. I work at CMF, California Medical Facility. So we have.
Oh, you hooked right next to me, man. I'm at Solano.
Okay. I don't like this connection, like prison connections. I don't do that. I don't do that. Not on my show. I don't know better, do better. We trying to know better and do better. We're not doing prison connections. That's what we're not doing. I need y'all to get that together.
All, we literally work behind each other. Like this spot is like right behind mine. But
I literally be over there all the time talking with the garage dudes and the hazmat guy. And
look,
the fire department with the chief.
You mean
I go to the garage a lot.
Over there in the garage.
That's when we got to fill up our transport vehicles with gas.
Look, y'all need to start having lunch and shit like once a week. Build a fellowship.
That's the cool part. That's the cool part about prison. We don't get no official lunch break. You eat when you can. Ain't no 15 and a 30. Ain't none of that.
You work in a prison, so did you expect much freedom?
It wasn't about freedom. I mean, I have no expectations necessarily. I'm just saying a lot of people don't understand, like 8 to 16 hours a day. When I work a double shift, that's 16 hours. Not including the hour drive to work and the hour drive. That's 18 out of the 24. If I don't take my food with me, you ain't gonna eat well. You know what I mean? So I got to plan 2 meals, all that type of shit. And you don't know when you're going to be able to eat sometimes, depending on what position you're working, because shit goes down at different times of the day. If you're a responder, you might be responding to all kinds of shit all over the place. You might not get a chance to sit down much and eat. So a lot of times, man, they be on the run. They be like, eat when you can. You might just pull up to work, be like, I'm gonna eat breakfast right now because I might not get a chance later. So it just depends. So no expectations, but a lot of people think, oh, we get a break. For them 8 to 16 hours, I also don't have no access to the outside world. I don't have my cell phone. I don't have internet access
Yep.
most of the time.
I be
felt
explaining that to
subject
people,
that
James.
shit
We don't have
before.
access to none of that.
I don't have my personal email. I don't have a connection to the outside world. So when I get off, I get to my phone. I got a million texts, a million emails, social media messages, DMs, and I'm like, I don't even know what happened in the news. Like somebody could have got killed, and I don't even know. Most of the time, we find out the news, excuse me, and the scores, the games from the inmates. They're like, oh man, the Niners just won. And I'm like, oh,
especially
shit.
when I had to work on the weekends, man.
Yeah.
They be fucking it up for y'all, though.
Oh, sometimes I'll be like, I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to turn on the radio when I get in the car. They be like, hey, I was like, don't tell me. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. But it just is what it is. But like when we come in them gates, we come in them same gates, and that door locks behind us once we in there, and we don't go back out until it's time to leave. So that's why I call it the concrete jungle.
No, I mean, I'm not trying to take, I know I'm making jokes and shit. I'm not trying to take anything away from either one of you because I never want to be in a prison, but I definitely don't think that I'm one who's built to work in one because
not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. And yeah, I can see myself working and then ending up in the motherfucker because, I got too involved in the working, I'm a people person. But I mean, seeing that you have an inside look on shit, like, do you find yourself ever like kind of preaching to people like, hey, don't do this, that's 10 to 5, or you know what I mean? Like, does it make you approach life a little bit differently?
I want to say approach life differently. It makes me appreciate different things differently. I mean, freedom comes at a high price in this life. You know what I mean? And hold on one second. I got some loud folks in the back.
Freedom comes at a high price. I don't think a lot of us know how much of that, how high
that
is until we lose it. I think
because it's like even when you working in the prison,
when you realize how expensive that shit was. You're like, fuck.
Because
My
even when you working in the prison,
way more than I did for this fucking taco.
Yep. Even when you're working in a prison, like he says, you don't have no social media.
Right.
You have no access to your phone. And he said, sometimes you can't even have lunch and all that stuff. And like a whole day can be like that. I don't ever have to do 16 like him, but there's been a lot of times I do a lot of overtime. So I'm always sometimes there until like 8, 9 o'clock. So.
And the cold part, it can't happen to him. Like if there's a real lockdown, like an escape or some tragedy type.
And Roselle has had some lockdowns recently where I didn't hear from him for 24 hours. I'm like, where the fuck is Roselle at? And he's like, I was on lockdown. My bad. I'm like, God damn, nigga, send a kite, send a pigeon. Like, you can't.
They had a time. It was a few years back. This inmate cut an inmate in half, pretty much, folded him up, and hit him in a garbage can. Count at 4:30. Count time. You count every inmate in the prison. They couldn't clear the count. It was almost 10 p.m. They still couldn't account for an inmate. It was ugly. Come to find out, his cellie chopped him up, El Chapo style, and stuffed him in a garbage can.
How? How do you cut a body up in prison, though? Where do you get the tools for that? I watch a lot of prison shit, and they ain't never made no shank that big, James.
You'll be amazed at the things they can make out of anything. They have nothing.
And to have the time and the freedom.
They have nothing but time. And they got nothing but time.
Nothing but time, man.
Nothing but time.
But I thought not y'all, but I thought they be walking by all the time.
It
like
depends. They GPs, sometimes you be walking by GP cells all day, and it ain't like they doing it right in front of you. They got plenty of time to sit and contemplate how to get away with something.
Diversions.
Think about all the stuff you've done in life. When you've had the most free time is when you think of that shit.
I have never sat around and thought about what it would take for me to chop up a body with a butter knife.
I'm just saying anything you've done that kind of been kind of like, you know what I mean, whatever. That's when you had time to think about it. They got nothing but time.
My gosh.
and limited resources. So every resource they get is important. Every piece of plastic, every piece of metal, every piece of string, it's very useful.
And I'm not gonna lie, like I've had a lot of family members in prison. So and some of them have made it out and stayed out, but a lot of them don't. But the ones that have stayed out, they've told me little things. I'm just like, how? Like, what do you mean y'all made liquor, alcohol, and put it in a bag and slid it underneath the door, and it got from one cell to another cell without nobody seeing it? I'm just like, nobody's here watching this shit. Like, okay. But I think of the movies, and that's all I want to know about because I don't want to know the inside traps, not from personal experience.
It ain't like the movies. The movies portray prison very vividly.
Minimal.
And entertainment.
I'm thinking of American Me, Blood In, Blood Out type shit.
Some of the shit that happens in the movies and TV shows happens, but not as prudent as they show it. Like, yeah, there's some rapes every now and then. That shit happens. Yeah, there's killings every now and then. That happens.
But everybody
every
ain't
day
getting raped.
It ain't every day. Like motherfuckers just looking for motherfuckers to rape. Shit don't go down.
Right.
Like that.
They make it seem like.
They don't go down like that.
Hey, they make it seem like me walking on these motherfucking outside streets with niggas walking around. So yeah.
But I mean, prison has a little bit more, I wouldn't say freedom, but they move around a little more freely than like county jail does on a regular basis. So like inmates get jobs.
They got more rules.
You know what I mean? Like Brother Rose right there. I mean, they get work crews. Inmates that come in, they supervise them and teach them skills, plumbing, electrical work, you know, all kinds of different skills. They go work. A lot of inmates go work. And then, you know, other guys going to school, other inmates got different shit going on. So they got all kinds of shit that they learning for free at the same time. So yeah, they learn how to make shit. You know, some of them cats is learning how to do electronics, so they know how to shift up some shit. You give them a few wires and they make homemade lighters.
So do you think like if they put more programs like trade school type programs into the prison system?
They already have them. We have on our side. We have
why aren't they working then?
It's not necessarily, you can't make a person change who they are. If
That's
they
what I was asking. Like, do you think if they have more available, and if they're already there, then no?
Right. Rehabilitation is inside the person. If you want to change and be better for yourself, you will. Now,
that's anybody.
Think about getting out though. They got, depending on how long they've been down, the way prison is its own world. It's its own underground world. Stuff that happens in there to people that have never been in there, sometimes you can't believe. We take it as, oh, that's just normal business. You be like, really? That's crazy. Like you just said about how they make shit. You like, wow, that's normal practice inside prison. We like, wow, dude made a shank out of this.
But it's amazing.
It happens.
The shit that they do is amazing to me.
But when they get out, think about it. They've been detached from society for so long. Sometimes it's hard to really connect because in there, the rules are different. Disrespect and all this is handled, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Whatever. You get out, you got to find ways to not get caught up by the police some more. On top of that, every time you get pulled over, you got a jacket. Hey, get out the car. You on parole? You on probation? Oh, yeah, everybody out the car. Yada, yada, yada. You have that going. Then when you filling out job applications, you know, first thing they ask,
have you been convicted?
Right. Are you on parole? You have been convicted of a felony. So they already working with negatives. Now it's not impossible. A lot of them do get out. Some of them do get good jobs. Some of them do become, you know, decent members of society after that. But you got a lot that can't figure that part out, or they go back to doing what they was doing, hustling, robbing, stealing, doing whatever. Then you have the ones, they don't want to change. They coming out to go right back to doing the same shit they was doing before they got to. And it just is what it is. Then you got the gang, you know, influence. Some of that is major and you ain't gonna break it. Most of the gangs on the street are ran by a gang member inside prison. The leader is locked up.
Okay, so then is there any hope for someone who goes to prison?
Yeah, there's hope. There's a lot of them that, you know what I mean, want to change or want to do better. They got families out there, kids, you know what I mean? Some of them do, but there's no guarantee.
Families, like you saying.
There's no guarantee. You can't just pick a dude and be like, oh, that dude's going to be up. You could be like, well, that dude has the tools to be all right out there. But does it happen?
I just feel like if you, and I know y'all say, okay, you can't force nobody to go through to rehabilitate themselves. No, you can't. But if you're forcing them to sit in a prison cell for so many odd hours a day, you can go force them to sit into something else for a few hours a day too, and maybe learn some shit.
Well, no inmate just sits in his cell all day unless he wants to. If they're mental health, they go to plenty of group programs and they talk to clinicians on a regular basis throughout the week. They go to classes. They do all kinds. Like, and inmates get assigned jobs. Sometimes they get assigned job, but they didn't even apply for one. But you ain't just gonna sit up in here. You're gonna do something.
So they are making them active,
or don't have jobs or whatever. They either got health issues and can't work, or they don't want to. If they want to be active, there's plenty of programs for them to be active. If they don't want to, they not going to. It's just that simple, pretty much. So the ones that want to do stuff, they sign up for all kinds of stuff. They have recreation activities. They have vocational activities. They have work activities. They have educational activities. Some of them are going to college. They have activities. The ones that don't, because either they always get into trouble, they always want to fight somebody, they always hit. There's this thing called gassing. It's when an inmate throws shit or piss on staff members. They do shit like that.
They actually do that?
Yes. Yeah. Some of them that got different diseases, whether it's hepatitis or HIV, they'll mix their blood in their shit or piss and then try to throw it at you when you walk by their cell. That happens too. That happens too. So those type of dudes, yeah, it's hard, but they still get opportunities to program.
I didn't know that was something. I mean, I assume that's something that has actually happened, obviously, but I know that's something that was like a constant.
I mean, it's crazy.
You fight with what you got, right?
I mean, that's pretty much everybody. You do what you can, but in there, like I said, they get a lot of opportunities. The ones that want opportunities, they're there for them. The ones that don't, like where I'm at, we even have a firehouse. Inmates learn how to be firefighters in a way. They get out and go to EMT school. Some of them, if they want to, if they go through the program. So, and a lot of people, it was a big thing in the news. They're talking about, they got this fire programs with the prison. The inmates only make cents on the dollar. First of all, no one makes them join that program. They volunteer. And then they have to pass a whole bunch of clearances to get into those programs. And then they also get time off their sentence for completing these programs.
And you also sitting on your ass and you ain't fighting no fire, so shut the fuck up. Why do you care?
And they learning some skills that they can actually turn into decent jobs on the streets. But everybody's always looking at, poor inmate this. Well, little Johnny killed 3 people.
I don't think that they were thinking poor inmate when it came to the fire schools, though.
That's why I hate when everybody be like, free TT. TT killed 5 people. Ain't no free TT.
No, I'm not yelling free nobody that killed nobody for sure. But I have family members who have been fucking locked up for, minor shit, like robbing somebody, like a little taco cart or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And getting 3 years for that shit. So that's the type of shit that I'm talking about. Like you wasting time and you taking away a lot of people's valuable youth, locking them up when they're kids for doing dumb shit. Just
the justice system is a totally another conversation, but yeah, that's a totally different conversation. That's
because the dumbass little white boys don't get locked up for shit. They done been out here shooting and I watched a whole documentary about 2 little boys who've been killing motherfuckers since they was 13, and the county been covering up because their family run the county, and everybody knows. And that shit's crazy. Because I'm thinking, like, my nephew was locked up for something so way less than this. And it stripped away everything for him. I mean, not everything, but everything that was going on at that moment. So I just find, like, I think for myself as a Black woman, it's hard for me to want to be in law enforcement or work in the system unless I'm doing something like counseling, something on the other side of the shit. Like, everything, would you work in a prison? No. And then I think about, it's like, yes, I would. I would go if there was a program that I was working within that would help them transition better, or to help them once they're transitioned out. You know what I'm saying? Let's help you get established to the new world, because a lot of shit happens in a few months. So imagine motherfuckers who be in there for a couple years, 10 years. That's shit ain't looking nothing like what you went in there looking like. So I'm sure that creates a whole different kind of anxiety and panic. And, you know, I just don't think that, I don't think people think that much into it sometimes. They think, well, you out of jail, go get a job. And you and I, all y'all know, it's impossible to just go run up out of jail and go get a job. Motherfuckers gonna ask you what you been doing for the past 10 days. You can't say sitting in jail and think they ain't gonna look at you funny. So,
right. I mean, like I said, a lot of them that are real proactive, they get stuff lined up. So when they get out, they're already on the fast track. But that's only, few and far between. Like I said, to each their own. And what I tell people a lot of time is the reason why they're allowing them a lot of these different programs is because a lot of them are going to get out. And would you rather someone that's going to get out that possibly will be your neighbor, have some abilities and skills, or get out with nothing and have to just straight be on survival mode?
If everybody thought like you, this should be a whole better system because they ain't worried about that. They like, oh, he gonna get out and do the same shit and come right back. They're not thinking about what if this motherfucker stay out? Don't you want him to be a productive citizen of society? Or do you want him to be a motherfucking criminal that got locked up in here a couple years ago?
Well, what I say from even my own experience is I tell a lot of these young cats that I coach, you want to stay away, as far away from any possibility of being caught up in a court system as you can, because one, the system is not made in a great and fair manner unless you have money. So putting yourself in that position already makes you looking at the 8 ball already.
Setting yourself up for failure.
You know what I mean? So the best thing is to stay away from the system as much as you can. Because it's not 100% fair. And you can get wrapped up in something bad and then that's your life. And the problem is a lot of times you get cats that go into prison for, like I said, they might have did something that some people would deem petty or small, or maybe they didn't really do it, but they was with the wrong crowd when it happened. And, somebody snitched on somebody or whatever. But then they get inside and they get caught up in other shit. You know what I mean? Because it's survival of the fittest. Once you get inside, you a loner. You got these cats over here that you got to join with them to protect yourself against these other cats. And now they got you doing shit that's out of your character.
Yeah.
Just so you can, earn your name, earn your rep, earn your respect. And now you catching time when you was only serving 3 years.
I think that's the hardest thing for me to wrap my brain around, because I know so many people who went in there on some petty shit and just kept getting time added on. And because they had to prove themselves in so many fucking ways inside there that they didn't have to do before. And I think that's when it's a whole new world. Like it becomes a test of battles and everything like that. But then when them people get out, they don't even know how to be out here as a regular ass person, because the person that they are coming out is not the person they were when they went in. And I don't know where I was going with that. It just took me out somewhere because I know too many people like that. And it's like, damn, I know being inside there made you like that. But it's like, who could have stopped that? Who could have protected you from that? Nobody. And I mean, I will say, like, my older brother was locked up. I mean, it's not a secret. If you know me, you from SAC, you know who he is. He knows who he is. Everybody know his deal. But he was locked up for about 12 years. My brother got out, though, 16, 17 years ago, and has never went back. And I think that's kind of rare. It's kind of an anomaly. But I feel like more young brothers are starting to stay out now, which I hope that becomes a bigger trend, because I mean, like you said, the best thing is to avoid even getting in the system in the first place. I say that, and I'm in the motherfucker, so it is what it is. It's hard to stay out of something that's targeted to look for you, though.
Oh, definitely. It's not the easiest thing. Like I said, I take flack. People tease me, oh, you a snitch, oh, you PO. I'm like, you know what? Y'all can say what I want, but I pay my bills. I feed, you know what I mean? My daughter eats well. And it's a career path that I chose, and it just is what it is. I get the most disrespect from Black inmates. You know what I mean? We talk about all this about it's always about fuck the police. And I'm the cat. I don't even go out of my way to fuck with people. I'm pretty a fair dude. I don't even go looking to catch people up. Like if I'm doing my job and across my duties, you get caught up doing something you're not supposed to be doing, I'm going to address it. Other than that, you know what I mean? It's like I said, I call it the concrete jungle for a reason. It's not for everybody. I mean, we get a lot of people that come working in there and they get caught up quick. People get walked out all the time. People bringing stuff in to inmates. And I'm talking about people don't even think about how many different types of staff. I mean, like I said, we got plant operations. We got nurses, doctors, office staff. We got cooks. We got, officers. You got counselors. You got other people that comes to the prison.
That's a lot of people that can be bringing some shit up in there, bro.
You got all kinds of people. And all it takes is them to hook one person to start bringing in something. Because inside,
man, when my brother was calling me from inside, I was like, how the fuck are you calling me on the cell phone?
A little throwaway $40 cell phone from Walmart to go for a few $100s inside prison. You know what I mean? So
when somebody told me the blunts that I throw away when the guts from a blunt when I'm about to roll up, they told me, oh, you can sell that in the jail. And I was like, what? It's like, yeah, California can't smoke. So tobacco, you get good money for that. I'm like, wow, I'm throwing this good money in the garbage every day. I roll a blunt up, but different rules, different lives. Like, I don't want no parts of that. I like my my life out here. Do you think if you ever got locked up, you'd be able to maneuver because you work in there?
I mean, every situation is different. Depends what prison you at, what yard you on, what type of cat you around. One, if I got caught up in something that deep, I wouldn't even be in general population because of the career I had. So they would keep me away from certain types of people because of that. Because one, my safety could be in danger just because of the job type of career I had. So the inmates find out I was CO, I might be a target. You know what I mean? So yeah, if something like that happened, it changes up a little bit. But there's been cats. That worked on our side and got caught up in real life doing something crazy, and they ended up on the other side. I've had ex-cops locked up on my units that I've ran. I've had, you know what I mean? So it happens. It happens. I tell people there's good and bad to every profession. You got good cops, bad cops, good COs, bad COs, good cooks, bad cooks. You got good nurses, bad nurses. You got good electricians, bad electricians. It don't matter. A job title is just a title. Humans are still humans. So.
Are you spiritual or religious, Jimmy?
I wouldn't say religious. I don't even like that word because of the way.
I said spiritual or.
Yeah, I'm spiritual. You know what I mean? But I still believe that the greatest gift we was given was the freedom of choice and free will. So people gonna do what they want to do, regardless of what they believe.
Do you feel like prison may be changing people? And do you see people like being more spiritual when they get into prison?
No, I mean, there's some, but I want to say it's all or a majority of.
Yeah.
Some cats feel that's the way for them to, find themselves or, get back to trying to be normal. Some cats don't believe in it at all and don't participate. It just depends. I mean, some cats, they're faking the funk, but some of them, they're using that because it's something they can use to try to keep themselves on some type of narrow path. They might not even really believe in it like that. You got cats that go to all the different type of church services. They go into the witness class and the Christian class and the Catholic chapel. You know what I mean? Some of them. So it just depends. It depends, but they got all the different opportunities.
Yeah. I mean, don't know what had jumped this conversation off, because this is not what I had down for us to talk about tonight.
That's all right. We talk about real stuff. That makes it raw and real. When you
No, but I feel like this happens every motherfucking show. I spend a good hour putting down show notes, and I never look at my notebook the whole time. But we got to talk about something, get something off the chest. I wanted to see how my brothers that work in prison be feeling. And it sounds ironic when it rolls off your tongue. Like, yeah, I know a bunch of niggas that work in prison. Like, I know both sides. I don't know one or the other more. But
I mean, I've even ran into cats I grew up with. You know what I mean?
On the other side, what do you say to them? You like, what's up, my nigga?
There's only been a couple.
Can you acknowledge them?
I mean, you're supposed to report them. You know what I mean? So that
you're
they know
supposed to report them that you know them.
Yeah, you see some cats you know or family members, you gotta.
Oh, right. That's snitching like a motherfucker.
It is, but it protects you, because let's say the inmate says something and starts running their mouth, it protects you from them looking at it like, oh, maybe you bringing stuff in, maybe you playing favoritism, maybe you.
No, but if y'all niggas don't know that I know them, no, it's not. So,
but the thing is, I don't know what that inmate might be telling other inmates. So I'd rather protect myself, because he's not gonna pay my bills if I get fired.
You right. I was just about to put a disclaimer out there, like, anybody get fucked up and I get fucked up, don't say my name. But you're right, you can't trust nobody else but yourself, Jimmy.
And then at the same time,
a little bit of heat.
Like he said,
because of the position I'm in, it's not. I'm a mandated reporter.
Right.
I know some shit and don't say some shit, I get caught up. You know what I mean?
And like he said, even if he don't say anything, like he said, like if someone he knows is in there, and this to say like another inmate overhears their conversation, that's it. They all know now. And so, like James said, he can get caught up like that. ISU will pull up on him in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
If you get jammed up, don't mention my name.
Man, I'm telling you.
That's a cold game.
It is.
I mean, I work in the financial industry, so there's certain things I can't say or else I'll get jammed up. Like, I can't tell y'all what stocks is going bad right now, even though I might know some.
I mean, it's like that. Just like think about people in the military. There's people in the military that know certain things. G14 classified. They can't share it.
Can't say shit.
Think about, you got people that work as either pastors or
but
counselors.
You know what? I'd be like, why can't I say shit? What the fuck y'all gonna do? And then, somebody says shit and then they show you what they do. They lock their ass up. And I'm not here for that life. Especially over white people's finances. But right. I wish I could.
I'm gonna read you a little something that somebody wrote. This is some of a lot of shit that does happen though to people that work in that type of environment.
Okay.
True story. Done right, working inside of a prison, locked in a cage with society's worst misfits. It's the hardest job under the law enforcement umbrella. Think about it. Not every cop on the street deals with a violent or a criminal every day. Some days they squad car, chilling, maybe pulling over a couple people running a red light.
Right.
We are dealing with people that are convicted of serious crimes on a daily
serious
basis,
crimes.
right?
Right.
Imagine hearing a gate lock behind you every day, 5 to 7 days a week for 20 to 30 years. Every day. How being a correctional officer affects the ones you love. And it doesn't necessarily have to be officer, it could be anybody working in a correctional facility. Don't be surprised if they sometimes just want to come home and be quiet. Don't be surprised if they become completely intolerant of idiots and tell them so. Corrections officers can't afford to be passive aggressive. You got to bruise aside. We can't wait. If the dude coming at you,
don't take it personal. Just ain't got time for that bullshit right now.
Don't be surprised if they develop a very warped sense of humor where they only laugh while everyone else just looks embarrassed or even horrified about what was said. That happens too. People that work even in hospitals, nurses and doctors that are around death, they're able to make fun of certain things that most people will find horrible. Same thing in correctional institutions, police, fire departments. We find things humorous because we see it every day, it becomes normal.
Anybody that deals with trauma, if you're still living, you found a way to make light of something to get past it.
Don't be surprised if their attitudes towards nearly everything are very different than everyone else's. Don't be surprised if they say things that shock everyone while being unable to understand why others are shocked. Don't be surprised if their circle of friends becomes smaller, sometimes limited to just their coworkers. Don't be surprised if you go to a restaurant or bar and they want to sit with their back against the wall, facing the door, so they can see everyone coming and going. No one is behind them and are constantly looking around the room while you're talking. They are listening and they do hear you. Trust me, they hear everything, even what's not said. That's the problem. We're always reading body language. We're always trying to feel out.
Y'all never relaxing. Y'all need to chill, bro.
It's part of a cycle because
you gotta chill.
Every day. You do
That's
that every
not
day.
healthy for you.
It's hard. It isn't healthy, but it's hard to turn that off and on a drop of a dime all the time. Some people can.
Not at the drop of a dime. But that's why I tell this to Roselle. I tell him this all the time. You got a whole bunch of vacation time. Take it. Yeah. Use it. They give it to you for a reason, not to hold on to it. It's so that you can connect, so you can click off for a minute and just get back to you. Y'all need that time. Oh, that's even more proof. Y'all need to start taking more time off. Right. You can't keep carrying that energy on and on and on and on every fucking day, and I think that ain't gonna wear down on you in every part of your fucking life. Like, it honestly does. Even if you don't see it, if you try your best not to put it out there and out the out front, it still exudes from your energy that you're drained, and you can't pour nothing into nobody else when your cup is empty at all. And I understand y'all integrity with your jobs, and your job is important. So I understand you want to do the best with it when you're doing it. I get that. You put your all into it, but you cannot put yourself aside for that fucking job. I don't give a fuck how important it is. You're important too. You got to fucking take time to fucking disconnect from that shit, because just listening to the stories over this past hour and 8 minutes, I'm drained. And imagine if I had to go to work and do that for 8 to 16 hours every fucking day.
Well, we call it, when we use that vacation time or do stuff, we call that self-care.
That's what we call that. That's what I'm saying. Here's how much self-care are y'all doing?
Well, I just had my little blackout weekend trip. Shout out www.blackoutweekend.
I missed this year again. I'm gonna get it next time.
We do it in the second weekend of March every year. We're up there in Lake Tahoe, about 500 to 600 beautiful Black people from all over the country, just vibing, no drama.
Was there a good turnout this year?
Yeah, we had about 600 people up there.
I mean, somebody told me hella late again, so I couldn't come.
Well, if my friend paid attention to my page, she would see that I posted from September.
I'm a grown-ass woman, dog. I don't be on Facebook like that.
I post multiple posts, stories.
I didn't see not one thing. Stories. I didn't see anything until the week of, and he was like, "Yeah, why you ain't at the weekend?" I'm like, "Shit, I didn't even know there was a weekend."
You wasn't tapping in. You wasn't tapping in, but
I wasn't.
Yeah. Other than that, I also coach kids. I coach sports. That's another way I.
Are you still doing track and field?
Yeah, right now I'm helping at a middle school to just kind of start their season. So
Jimmy, I need to just borrow somebody kid that know how to run, because I want to go to track meets and shit. That's my baby. I just want to yell at that. That's my baby. Go.
You ain't gotta. You just gotta go. I know people that just enjoy the sport. They go watch just to watch.
Okay, so is it weird if I just show up to track meets and I ain't got no kids?
Yeah, you can go sit there. You know what I mean? Get your little food, sit there and just watch.
What little boo? Why I gotta have a boo? I just said something about myself.
I didn't say boo. I said food.
Oh, okay. I thought you said
food. You know what I mean?
Food. Oh, because why we talking about food at game? Why did I just really flag down an ice cream truck the other day? Because the first ice cream truck I've ever seen in San Diego, and it's raining today. But it was sunny yesterday. I flagged the motherfucker down. He was like, "I got nachos." I was like, "Yup." That's gonna remind me of being at the basketball games with that old processed ass nacho cheese. Absolutely. Load it up. Extra jalapenos, please. $6, that's nothing. Here you go, ice cream truck man. Sure did. I got inspired. I'm gonna put it up later, but that's funny. So I probably am gonna start just going. I'm gonna go to track meets and basketball games. I actually am thinking about joining a women's league, basketball league, but I'm like, Treka.
Hey, shit, you got your squad in the Final Four. What? San Diego State?
We are. I don't have my sweatshirt on because I've been wearing it all week and it's dirty. But yeah, we here. Okay, and speaking of which, I say on Monday, somebody talked shit to me about that sweatshirt, right? I bought that fucking sweatshirt my first weekend in college in 1999, and I've worn it religiously for 23 years. Nobody in San Diego has ever talked shit to me about that. But we're getting the Final Four. Now motherfuckers come out of the woodwork like, y'all lucky you made it in there. Like, okay, you salty? You mad? Sports bring out the worst in people. You don't even work for this team. What are you doing?
Religion, sports, and politics. I have people wanting to go to war.
Man, it's so bad. I think that's why I had to let up on my football watching these past couple of years because it started to get nasty. And I was like, this is going too far. I don't even know this person. I just said, fuck you. So, but hey, San Diego State, Aztecs all day. If we go to the championship, y'all might not see me for a couple weeks. I'm about to use all my savings. I'm about to get into it and do something spectacular like I won. It's funny because when I went to San Diego State, I was able to go and sit courtside. Nobody bothered us. Where the season ticket holders were, because nobody was worried about San Diego State. And now I could barely get a student ticket.
Hey, it only takes one opportunity. You know what I mean? Like Eminem said, take this shot. You know what I mean?
Take this. All it takes is one shot. Only shots you miss are the ones you don't take. So,
So self-care is important. So anybody working in that, type of environment, that's what we got to do to keep yourself sane. Because those be known, I've been at the location I'm at since 2008 when I transferred over there. And since 2008, we've had at least 8 COs that I've known commit suicide since 2008.
No, I was afraid you were going to say that.
It happens.
And not like this matters, but I'm just curious. Are they mostly men or women or
all
equal?
Men, no women.
More women.
No women. All men.
No women. All men.
Women. All men.
Do you guys as men feel like y'all don't have a space to like?
It's not that we don't have a space. Most men aren't the type to express when they're under heavy stress in a way that they're going to get help for that. Think about the pride of a man. Think about all that entails with what society thinks a man is supposed to be, or the things we're supposed to carry. Suck it up. Don't be a pussy. Man up.
And women, we put a lot of that on men as well, every day.
Then the ego part. Oh, I can't be no sucker. I can't let them see me fall. Can't let them see me cry. You know what I mean? So you already have that stigma and those expectations have you on this pedestal to where men go through shit too. And like, there's stress, there's trauma, there's things that happen. And then working in an environment we work in, now it's a little more extra macho. You know what I mean? I can't be soft. I can't, you know what I mean? I can't express my feelings. I can't yada, yada, yada. And then you think about regular life happens. People still go through family problems, divorce, death, financial issues. Usually that comes with divorce, right? Financial issues, emotional shit, child custody battles, all kinds of things happen. And then you work in this environment at the same time. And if you haven't had any outlets or you don't feel there's a way for you to release some energy, release some pressure, most of the time when it's a man committing suicide, it's by a gun. Once you pull that trigger, you can't take it back. Where a lot of times when women have attempted suicide, it's by pills or some other way
that can possibly fail.
Right, possibly fail. Or, women usually are more expressive and it doesn't usually always get that far. Where men, it happens because the way we take ourselves out, ain't no coming back from most of the time. So there's those reasons. And yeah, mental health amongst men is crazy, especially against Black men.
Does the state offer like programs and stuff for you guys?
I mean, this program, it's not like they just, nowadays there's a much more awareness about it throughout law enforcement, but it's not like if somebody doesn't know because you hiding that you're struggling, it's not like someone's reaching out to you. But the thing is, if you struggling, most men ain't the ones that's going to reach out. Like sometimes we might say something, hoping we get a response like, I've been going through some shit. I share with you some shit I've been going through.
Right.
And I shared that I had people hit me up. Are you okay? I'm like, nah, I'm not okay. Some of them never followed up. So at that point, I might feel, well, shit, nobody gives a fuck.
Do that too.
I might as well, you know what I mean, leave.
And you know why that makes you feel some type of way is because it's like people is faking on you. Like you was fronting on me. Why the fuck you even ask me? And then I'm vulnerable enough to answer you openly, and then you ain't even fucking there for me.
Right.
Like,
so and I gave them that answer on purpose just to see what they would do. And it's like nobody followed up.
Right.
Then I went silent. Nobody pulled up on the house to make sure I was good. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, women, though, there's usually different people come to their rescue, whether it's some dude or their best friend or family member, whatever. With guys, we, not all the time, I'm just saying sometimes, but we hide so people don't know that we going through some shit sometimes.
Y'all hide it like a lot better than we do, but
right.
I think it's a little bit of a misconception to assume that women get more support than men do, especially Black women. I don't know about the other ones, but the Black women, I don't know.
I just think women in general are more expressive.
We're more expressive, so more people will find out more about what's going on with us.
There's a bigger chance that somebody's gonna figure out something's wrong with you.
Right. And that part, yes.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of women who are very independent and hide it just as well as men do and struggle.
But then if you think about the environment I'm working in, there's way more men than women also. So the stress is a little bit different.
Right.
Because even at work, men are usually protective of the women. There might be a female CO and an inmate gets sideways with her. Usually a male CO is going to step in front and be like, hey, I got this.
Right.
You know what I mean? So some of those things are different too.
So that's an even more pressure onto what you already got going on. I was just saying this too today. I was like, there's so many levels to this shit. Like people's like, okay, there's, for instance, you take this. I was like, it's not only am I Black, that's one level, right? But I'm a woman. That's a whole nother level. I'm a woman over 40. That's a whole nother level. I'm a woman over 40 with no kids. That's a whole nother level. Like there's so many layers to shit because people are so quick to put labels on everybody and everything. But instead of just seeing like, hey, still fucking human. Still fucking going through the same fucking pain another human being would fucking go through if they had to go through what I go through every day. Like, I don't think a lot of people are compassionate enough to see other people in their light. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I just say, they need, not just for you, for everybody that works in the fucking prison. Y'all need to be having some mandatory meetings every week where y'all have to go and sit and meditate for 15 minutes or some shit.
It's crazy. I actually brought up the question because it used to be, we used to have to get a physical every year to make sure we're physically fit for duty or whatever. And I brought up a question. I was like, shouldn't it be kind of mandatory for us to have to talk to somebody at least once a year to make sure we rap right?
Make sure your head is okay.
And the problem is there'll be a lot of pushback on something like that being mandatory, but I feel that, I encourage everybody to go talk to somebody because you just never know where your deadline is. You know what I mean? Where your snap point is at.
And you might not even be there right now. That's the thing a lot of people don't realize. You might not even be at your snap point right now, but you probably wouldn't even know what it was until you went to talk to somebody and figured it out.
Realize some of the things that I don't see. like in a normal day that affect me in certain ways outside of work, at home, with friends, with family, until I went and started kind of just releasing and talking to somebody freely. And then their responses and feedback made me look at the situation like, damn.
Yes.
I'm a little bit fucked up.
Yes, yes.
This does affect me a little bit. You know what I mean?
I think that's what I was saying to Roselle when you had to step away for a second. I was like, man, y'all need to go talk to somebody, because that's a lot of shit to carry. And then not be able to not necessarily unload, but unload it. You know what I'm saying? Like, who do you unload that kind of shit off of when you work in a prison every day?
I mean, you know, therapists, counselors, somebody, maybe a friend that you talk to every day, maybe a spouse if y'all have that type of relationship. But you need
a lot of people that are just your friends are not that patient to let you dump that on them. I'm gonna say I couldn't have taken you dumping it on me every day.
Hey, James, you know, we also have a number. We also have some kind of like phone numbers.
We have
and stuff.
websites. We have an app. They have wellness apps. They have employee assistance programs.
Okay, that's good.
There's stuff out there, but like I said, a lot of times though, the ones like I know the 8 that took themselves out, nobody knew they was going through something. So it wasn't like they wasn't reaching out to nobody, and there was nobody knowing they was going through something to reach out to them. So
but like you said, men don't reach out.
We know they exist and they out there, but a lot of times men going through it ain't gonna reach out and call that number. You know what I mean?
What would change that though?
It's just the expectation of the male psyche, the expectation of the man, of a man's status.
We got a lot of work to do, y'all.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like you gotta
roll on the sleeves, because I need y'all to live. I mean,
you know what I mean?
I'm gonna do my part, whatever it takes.
Like just take a situation that affects my own. So I was talking to an officer who has like close to 30 years in, and he has stated that over time he had noticed like him and his daughter had a very close relationship through the years. And as time got on, he was pushing his daughter away. Like she wanted to, you know, when she was in school, when she was younger, you know, he picked her up from school. How was your day? You know, she would tell him what's going on, whatever. And as he continued through his career and she got older and she wanted to talk, you deal with so much bullshit in this career field that sometimes you don't want to talk when you get off work. You want to be left alone for a minute. Like your bullshit meter has been full. And you're like,
at the minute.
So she was trying to talk to him, you know what I mean? And he would kind of just push her off. So then she became a teenager. Something serious happened. He's pushing her away all these years. So she never told him about the situation. He finds out secondhand, and he gets frustrated and mad and goes there like, why didn't you tell me about it? She was like, because Dad, you never want to talk to me.
Story of my life.
So shit like that happens too to people that firefighters, EMTs, nurses, people that deal with a lot of trauma type situations. They start to push away people unknowingly to save their own mind and sanity, not knowing that now they're affecting other people they care about and love. And that's the thing. And some people don't notice that until they talk to somebody.
And so, that's why self-care is so important for you guys. Okay, when's the last time y'all went and had a manicure or pedicure?
I usually only get like a pedicure before I go on a trip somewhere.
So then you should have got one 2 weeks ago then, right?
I didn't have time to do it that time. No, that was more than 2 weeks ago. That was March 8th through 12th. That was like almost a month ago now. But
Roselle,
I'm kind of like him. It just depends on if I'm doing something. I might do it before I do.
Both of y'all both of y'all go get your pedicures this weekend. Get some self-care.
I'm not getting a pedicure this weekend. I got other stuff to take care of.
Oh my God! See, that's how people feel about their mental health. They're like, oh no, I got other shit to do. And you keep on putting other shit in front of you, and you keep on building up that shit. So keep doing that.
First of all, I have other pedicures. Not something I enjoy. That's something you might love to do all the time. I do it when I feel it's needed. I like to get massages.
I'm not even that girl that goes every 2 weeks.
I'll go get a massage before I go get a pedicure. That's what I'll do.
I've never gotten a massage, so that's where you got me.
What? Never? Why? You ticklish or something?
No, I'm broke or something.
There's a place that ain't
no, I just never was like, hey, I'm gonna go get a massage. I don't know. I need to. I've been thinking about it. It's something I should be doing as a grown up, I think. I mean, I'm not that broke. I got money to go get a massage. It's just never nothing. I was like, oh yeah. But I'm not a girly girl either. So I'm not the girl that's going and getting her nails done, spending $100 every 2 weeks either. I have no nails. So, that's the life I live. I'm a natural chick, but I still feel like self-care is very important for men especially, but I just don't think that y'all understand. Like, I know y'all like to go get your hair cut and all that shit. You think that's doing the self-care, but do you actually just sit and have peaceful time and like reflect on your fucking life and yourself and where you want to be?
There's certain places I go for that. Like me, I like just sitting by the ocean or running water. I used to take day trips to Tahoe, just sit there and look at the lake. You know what I mean?
So nice. I love living by the ocean.
Summertime, you know me, how we officially met in person out on the water.
On the lake.
I go rafting and kayaking and paddleboarding and shit. I'll go by myself sometimes.
I can't believe I was in that river so much that year, but I mean,
every year I'm still out there. I just go and chill. Like that's
okay. So Roselle wasn't here for that story. Roselle, the first time I met him eye to eye, face to face, I was shooting little white kids with a super soaker on Sacramento River.
American River,
my bad. And they was shooting me first while I was on the boat. And so I had to hop off. I had to pull up on them. And I was like, blast these fools. And he like walked straight to me. And I was like, who the fuck is this dude? And he's like, Treka. And I was like, what? Who are you? And I was like, James? How you find me? He's like, I heard your voice. And I was like, how? But you've never heard my voice before. I only know him from social media, from mutual friends on social media. So he had never heard my voice, never seen me in person, but he walked up to me and was like, I knew it was you. Randomly, I hadn't tagged myself at the river. It wasn't like he was looking for me or nothing. I was like, you know what? This is how I know my reputation is real, because I got to watch my shit. I was shooting some little white kids.
Well, she has strong features. If you've seen pictures or video of her, you know what I mean? You pull up, she looks like her. She has high cheekbones. She got the high cheekbones, you know what I mean? Them eyes. There ain't too many people, you know what I mean, with the high cheekbones, them eyes. You know what I mean? So, I was like, hey, that look like the homie right there. You know? I called her name out. She looked around like, who the fuck know me? She didn't recognize me at first. She like,
because I was out there with non-blacks. I was out there with not my black folks. I was out there with non-blacks. Like,
who looking at me sideways like, who the hell? And then she's like, oh, yeah. You know what I mean?
And it was a wrap from there.
This is what it is. But the year, we done had spats. Well, I got on her last fucking nerve online with some of my opinions.
Oh, I almost like hated you for a minute.
Yeah, she almost hated me for a minute, but real recognize real at all times. And sometimes you have the ability to agree to disagree and keep it moving and be respectful with it. So we've always been solid.
It was real big of us to get to that point, because I think it may have been over some Niner Raider shit.
It might have been.
It got real serious, and you get that shit up out the camera. We're trying to be nice right now. I don't have any Raiders stuff on. Anyways, it got bad. It got bad. That's why I say we be letting these fucking teams break us up as people.
Because I was at the game on New Year's Day.
Really?
I mean, y'all gave it a good fight, though. Y'all tried. Y'all tried real hard.
Y'all
Y'all did.
Okay. Bless your heart.
It is what it is.
Ain't you a Lakers fan too, Jimmy?
Hell to the nah.
How them Kings doing, y'all?
Oh, I mean, they making the playoffs. I mean, my number one basketball team is the Heat, but I support my city. So the Kings, when they do good, the city does well. The bars is packed. People's outside. People are energized. Money's flowing through the city. You know what I mean? So it's a good thing they made it to the playoffs. It's a very good thing they made it and they doing their thing. Mike Brown deserves Coach of the Year honors. You know what I mean? Keegan Murray should be in the discussion for Rookie of the Year. They got Malik Monk to be in the discussion
for
sixth man of the year. You know what I mean? The GM should be in the discussion for executive of the year.
Shit, Jimmy.
I'm just saying they putting on for the city right now. They putting on.
Are they? I'm so mad.
It looks like they locked into the number 3 seed after not making the playoffs since 2006. They look like they locked in. They haven't even had a winning season since 2006.
Because we was heartbroken. How would we? They robbed us.
You know what I mean? Well, I want to say some of this though was bad draft picks, horrible draft picks, bad moves.
Of course, by the front office. Part of it. Of course.
You know what I mean? Then they almost moved to Seattle, and David Stern had to say
that. That would have been some bitch ass shit.
You know what I mean?
I forgot all about that.
You forget the little street in front of the Golden One they named after David Stern. God rest his soul. You know what I mean? So
as soon as he retired, he died. Didn't that say
they put him for the city now, so it's good. It's good. It's good for the city. It's good for.
Okay, so are the Kings in the playoffs though?
Yeah, yesterday they clinched the spot.
Okay. That's
so it looks like they're gonna finish.
State is in the Final Four, and the motherfucking Kings in the playoffs.
Unless they fall all the way apart, they're probably gonna be locked into the number 3 seed in the West. And they probably gonna play either Minnesota or the Warriors in the first round. That's what it looks like might happen, but we'll see.
That's so odd that the Warriors are at the bottom of the fucking standings.
I mean, they can't play on the road this year. They miss Andrew Wiggins.
Oh, bless their heart. I mean, my number 1 team is the Bulls, and we ain't doing shit this year.
Y'all hanging in there though. Y'all in a play-in spot.
But you know,
y'all hanging in there.
We hanging in there, but you know what? It's just like it's time for change. Like there ain't no Duke and no North Carolina in the Final Four. That's weird as fuck. So,
ain't no number 1 or number 2 seeds in the Final Four for the first time ever.
And San Diego State knocked out one of them number 1s too. Aztecs.
Hey.
You know what? I feel like my whole life has been predestined, and it is because I've watched it lead up to this. All of my school teams' colors have been red, black, and white. And here we are, blood gaming, Aztecs. So hopefully we pull it out on Saturday. That'll be great. It is 2 Florida teams in the Final Four. I don't know if people realize that.
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck happened over there.
Actually, I'm rooting for y'all or FAU. One of those 2. I don't care about the other 2 teams. You know what I mean? I want either San Diego or the Super Cinderella squad to win it.
But you know what? Okay, well, you're picking. We play each other.
Right. So whichever one of y'all
whichever one of us wins out of our game, that's who you're rooting for. Okay.
I'm rooting for to take it all.
That's what's up, though. We appreciate it. Take everything. Mm-hmm. Take it all. Well, I definitely appreciate this conversation tonight, y'all. I know we pushing about an hour and a half. I myself have had a long week, so.
Hey. I ain't mad at you. I had a long beginning of the week and a nice ending.
So how does it work when you're a correctional officer? Like, are you on call or you got to
Nah, not necessarily. I mean, like if there's some crazy emergency, like earthquake, hurricane, they got to evacuate those places, they'll call people to come in.
Like if shit start flooding, do you got to go to work?
Some people are in positions that they're on call if they're part of a special investigative services unit or tactical team. They're on call, but I'm not on call. Now I am signed up for overtime if they need a body and I ain't doing shit. They can call me and I'll come in and make some money. But for the most part, nah, we're not all on call.
There's a flood. They're gonna call plant ops.
Oh, so you gotta go, Roselle.
Flood or all the toilets is back.
That's why he was quiet. He was like, "Nah, he ain't gotta go. They calling my black ass." So
yeah. It depends on what it is. But
I heard. I mean, so what's the weather like up there for y'all right now? Because I heard it was kind of
lovely today. It's been raining and shit. This rain keep coming back, but today it was beautiful outside.
Really?
It was beautiful
outside. Weather is crazy.
Hopefully it sticks. We had like Sunday was nice, and then it rained, or I think it was Sunday and Monday or something. It rained Tuesday, Wednesday. And then today was nice. And hopefully
It'll start raining again on Tuesday.
God damn. Feel like I'm in Seattle or Portland or something.
Not Portland.
But no, I mean, we needed the rain, all this damn drought, all the reservoirs being
We
dried up.
do.
Need the rain. They keep building houses, but ain't no new water wells. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
more people sharing less water.
I mean, every time I see a picture of Sac, it's homeless people. So I just wonder what the hell they building. They building all these houses, ain't nobody getting housed. But that's the city they go to.
There's homeless people everywhere. It's just, I tell people, think about it. If you homeless, what state would you rather be in? Would you rather be somewhere where the winters are real cold? Could you survive living on the street in a cardboard box in the middle of winter in Detroit?
I'm gonna tell you where I'm going. I'm going to San Diego.
In California, you know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why California got more homeless.
I see people hand $20, $100 bills as homeless people in San Diego. I'm going to San Diego. I don't give a fuck. I'll live on every beach all year round.
Well, think about it. I've been to like Virgin Islands, right? I've been to the Bahamas. In the Bahamas, there's a lot of homeless people there, right? Or people that don't have money or whatever, lower class. They don't look homeless though, because the weather is good all year long. Hard winters ages motherfuckers as homeless.
Hell yeah.
In severe heat. It don't get too hot. It don't get too cold. Food grows abundantly. And there are islands surrounded by fish and seafood. So they eat well. So they don't look homeless. They don't look hungry. They don't look famished.
If you know how to live off the land, you're fine.
Right. So there's a difference when we talk about homeless people. Yeah. When homeless people here and homeless people in some other areas.
Homeless people here, they spoil fucking rotten. They don't know how to fucking go and hunt and fish and shit.
I remember a lot of these homeless people getting SSI checks.
And just be chilling. I have a homeless homeboy and his name is Mike. And I've had a conversation with him and he's told me multiple times he don't want to live nowhere. And I said, hey, if you good, I'm good. See you later, Mike. But me and Mike have had a history. Mike has called me a monkey and all kinds of shit before. We've gotten to a equal standing ground, but yeah, I don't know. I couldn't be homeless. It's not for me. Anywho.
I agree.
You agree with what? Being homeless?
No, I couldn't be. It's not for me. I couldn't do it.
Although if I had to, I have looked at different ways that I would live and be good. Like budgeting wise. I would know where I would set up and everything, where I would go and like take my showers and everything. I got it all planned. Which probably ain't good because then that means it's an option for me. So I'm gonna get that shit out of my head. So but yeah, I'll be fine. Let's just say that. I'm not trying to be homeless, y'all. That's not in the cards. I'm trying to actually like be either buying a house next year or not living in California.
Gotta work at it. It ain't easy. Down there it's expensive. I know down there it's expensive.
Oh no, it ain't gonna be here, Jimmy. San Diego's vacation only. Woo. I can't barely afford the rent. You think I'm gonna buy a house? No, I can do it, maybe.
I mean, hey, you never know what the future has in store. You know what I mean? You might come across the money tomorrow. You just never know.
I might get a sponsor tomorrow. It's like, you know what? I seen your podcast last night. You and Jimmy was on point. I want to give you $100 zillion. I'm like, yes.
Keep rocking. You never know. You might catch something. You know what I mean? Catch a sponsor too.
I'm not out here looking for that. I'm just out here doing my due diligence.
No, I'm not saying you gotta look for it. It might find you. You never know. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And you know what? On my way up, I won't forget the little ones that held me along. You, Roselle, get y'all out the prison.
Yeah.
Give you a better life.
Hey,
for
man, I
being there
appreciate
with
every
me.
moment. I
Just
appreciate every moment. Tomorrow ain't promised. You know what I
kidding.
mean? And I try
Look,
to
I
not worry
said what
about the
I said. I
bullshit
said
no
if you
more.
gave me $1 zillion, you got some. I don't say shit I don't mean. I meant that.
I'm gonna leave it like this. I think I told you this quote last time. A bee does not waste its time convincing a fly why honey is better than shit.
This is not shit, Jimmy.
I'm just
This
saying.
is
You know what I
honey.
mean? You know what I mean?
I understand what you say. You say
I'm
this every
enjoying
time we talk to
enjoy
you,
every
and
moment because
it doesn't ever make any more
people don't
sense.
want to live in shit all day. I ain't got time to be trying to convince them why honey is better.
Okay, well, don't. We won't.
But
Nobody
now,
has time for that, y'all.
I know we pushed
Try
time.
to chop it up and wrap it up, y'all.
Yeah, what's gonna be on the topic next time we get together? What we gonna stick to? We're gonna get to something else next time. What we gonna talk
We're
about?
gonna get into something a little bit more deeper next time. Like I said, this one kind of went off, started on its own little thing, and like I've told you before, and like Roselle already knows, I don't interrupt the flow if it starts to go some way, which way. I just let it go until it needs to change up. And that's how I think that the conversations that we have are organic and fruitful. And I think that we were still dropping gems, even though this is nothing that I plan to talk about tonight.
Right. We can still drop that on the next one, you know what I mean? What you wanted to talk about, whatever area of life you wanted to dibble and dabble.
We will dibble. We're gonna definitely dabble. We ain't gonna tell them we're doing that though tonight though. But yeah, you and I will definitely be in touch, and it's gonna be.
We'll hype it up later.
Are you sound like you're trying to become a regular guest on the show? So,
I mean, it could happen. It might not be every episode, but
I kind of been looking for
Thursdays,
someone to like have right here all the time.
Like,
come ride with me and roll, but ain't nobody been willing to do it. They all scared.
If they would have called me for overtime tonight, I would have went in because tonight for the holiday is double time and a half.
Yeah, that's some money right now, man.
Look, this is some prison talk. I told y'all I don't do prison talk on here.
That's money talk. It's called double time and a half.
That's prison money talk.
I would have got off this motherfucking podcast at 9 o'clock.
You probably would have never got on here.
And hopped in the car and went and got that double time and a half. That's what I would have did.
Just rub it in.
They ain't call me, so you know what I mean. I enjoyed my time being here with y'all.
Exactly. We enjoyed having you, and we will be back next time. So it's not like you're saying goodbye. And what you got coming up since the event planner? You got anything coming up now?
Nah, I mean, for those of you in SAC, if you're watching on the next Saturday, my boy DJ Magic Mel and DJ Racer X, they're gonna be spinning the ones and twos at Infusion next Saturday for the grown. You know what I mean? The grown and humble.
The grown and humble.
Instead of grown and sexy, the grown and humble. You know what I mean? They're gonna be out there at Infusion. You know what I mean? If you're free, check it out. Other than that, man, springtime's here, man. It's time to get outside. It's time to get out the house.
Get this vitamin D.
You know what I mean? Time to start chilling out, getting ready for summer. I tell people, man, sundress season is in. You know what I mean? It's here. Hey, it's free agent season. If you're a free agent, you better start choosing.
I've already started accepting applications, but it is sundress season. Roselle, anything going on in the Bay your way, sir?
Nah, man. This weekend I'm chilling. This weekend. It's a 3-day, so I'm chilling.
Is it a 3-day
week? Well, for us, tomorrow's Cesar Chavez Day. It's a state holiday.
Oh, y'all lucky.
For our state workers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If the Federal Reserve is open, I'm working. So that money's still flowing. I gotta get it.
Keep watching my bread. Watch my bread. I still need it to come through. But no, man, this weekend is chill. You got the fun. You got, you know what I mean? You got college, you know what I mean? March Madness finishing up. You got the Kings, you know what I mean, trying to finish up strong.
It's gonna be a good weekend.
You got
it's gonna be a great weekend.
Some teams just fighting just to stay in it. It's gonna go down the wire. So this weekend is a time to reflect, chill, and get ready. Get ready. Just be ready. That's all I'm telling
It's
you. Be
spring.
ready.
Spring into new
Be
things.
ready. That's about it, man.
All right. Well, if y'all want to find me, I'm on Instagram, know.do.be.better. You can find me on Facebook too sometimes. TLDB. Y'all want people to follow you? You want to drop your handles?
Definitely. I mean, if you out there and you ain't already, you already know it's Hurricane James. You can find me on Facebook with my first name, my government James Bowles. Or you can find me on Instagram at _Hurricane_James. You know what I mean? Check it out. Other than that, I don't really be on
Tap
Twitter
in,
or
tap
TikTok
in.
or none of that. I'm Insta face and
Not a
and face.
celebrity.
I'm on Facegram and Instabook.
Okay. Roselle.
Roz 60 million on Instagram and Roselle Joyner on Facebook.
How many zeros is 60 million?
7 zeros.
Okay. I've been trying to figure it out for days. Yeah. Thank everybody for tapping in. Hope you found something you like. If you don't, maybe next time. And appreciate both of y'all for coming in, brothers. You know I love you. Stay safe in the prisons. I love you.
We out.
Everything is everything. Jimmy, thank you. Appreciate you, bro.
Welcome.
And we out.